The Nazis weren't just waging war, they were chasing a myth. From Tibet to Atlantis, even the Holy Grail, they scoured the world for proof of a master race. But their obsession with pseudoscience didn't just rewrite history, it fueled genocide. This is the chilling truth behind their darkest quest, a bizarre and terrifying attempt to reshape history in their own image, with horrifying consequences. The man behind the madness. At the heart of this twisted pursuit was Heinrich Himmler, head of the SS and one of Hitler's most loyal followers. He was not just a brutal enforcer, he was a fanatic obsessed with myths and the occult. Himmler believed in a lost Aryan civilization that had once ruled the world before being wiped out by catastrophe. To him, the Nazi movement was a way to resurrect this ancient super-race. But to prove his delusions, he needed evidence. That's when he created the Ahnenerbe, an SS research institute dedicated to demonstrating the superiority of the Aryan race through archaeology, anthropology, and pseudoscientific expeditions. The search for Atlantis. One of the key figures in this twisted quest was Hermann Wirth, a historian who argued that the Aryan race came from the mythical lost city of Atlantis. He claimed that ancient symbols and carvings found across different cultures, from India to Scandinavia, were proof of a lost Aryan civilization that had once ruled the world. Himmler was captivated. He saw Atlantis as the missing link that could justify Nazi racial theories. But there was one problem. No archaeological proof of this so-called master race existed. So, he sent his SS scholars on a mission to find it. The Nazi expedition to Tibet. In 1938, as Hitler prepared for war, Himmler launched one of the most bizarre expeditions in history, a mission to Tibet. A team of 5 SS scientists, led by anthropologist Bruno Beger, set off on a dangerous trek through the Himalayas. Their goal? To find living Aryan bloodlines. They believed that after Atlantis was destroyed, the last true Aryans had fled to the high mountains of Tibet, where their descendants might still live. The team measured skulls, took facial profiles, and documented the physical features of Tibetan locals, searching for so-called Aryan traits. Their findings were later used in Nazi propaganda as evidence that the Aryan race had once ruled Asia. The hunt for the Holy Grail. Perhaps the strangest Nazi expedition of all was the hunt for the Holy Grail. This was led by Otto Rahn, a German historian obsessed with medieval legends. He believed that the Grail was not a Christian relic, but an ancient pagan artifact linked to the Aryan race. His research led him to the ruined fortress of Montségur in southern France, where he believed the Holy Grail had once been hidden by the Cathars, a medieval religious sect. Himmler was thrilled and funded Rahn's work, convinced that recovering the Grail would give the Nazi regime supernatural legitimacy. But Rahn never found the Grail, and his failure cost him dearly. He eventually fell out of favor, was forced to join the SS, and later died under mysterious circumstances. The horrifying consequences. While these quests sound like something out of an Indiana Jones movie, their real purpose was far more sinister. Himmler's obsession with race laid the foundation for the Holocaust. His belief in a lost Aryan civilization justified the extermination of those he considered racially inferior. The same men who led Nazi expeditions, like Bruno Beger, later worked on horrifying projects such as the Jewish Skeleton Collection, in which Jewish prisoners were murdered so their bodies could be studied for racial science. Himmler's racial fantasies were not just harmless pseudoscience. They directly contributed to the Nazi justification for genocide. By the end of the war, the Ahnenerbe's files were hidden deep in German caves, and many of its scientists either went into hiding or were captured. Himmler himself was arrested but took his own life before he could be tried for war crimes. Bruno Beger was later convicted for his role in Nazi war crimes but served only 3 years in prison. The Nazi quest for Atlantis, the Holy Grail, and the Aryan master race ultimately proved nothing. History is often stranger and darker than fiction. Understanding the past is crucial to preventing similar horrors in the future. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more forgotten and hidden histories. What do you think about the Nazi obsession with the occult? Let us know in the comments below. The Nazi pursuit of myth and pseudoscience was not just a fringe obsession, it was a driving force behind some of the darkest atrocities in history. The legacy of their twisted ideology still serves as a warning of how easily history can be manipulated for evil. Let's remember these stories, not just to learn from them, but to ensure they are never repeated.